China is a vast country with a long and rich history, filled with remarkable achievements that have earned the world's admiration. But just like many other places, it is also home to plenty of bizarre and unexpected things. Some of them leave tourists speechless, some make people burst out laughing, and others are so strange it's hard to believe they even exist. Let's explore them together in this video. Number 1. China blocks all major social media platforms. Many of you watching this video might not know this about China. If you travel to China, you won't be able to use Google, access Facebook, watch YouTube, or upload photos to Instagram. It's not because your phone is broken, but because all of these international platforms are completely blocked. For a long time, China has expressed concern about the influx of free-flowing information from the outside world. To protect what they call cyberspace sovereignty, the country has built what is considered the most stringent internet control system on the planet, known as the Great Firewall. This tool allows the government to control access to content and restrict websites, platforms, or viewpoints they consider inconsistent with their governance model or national interests. At first glance, it might seem like Chinese citizens are cut off from the modern digital world, right? But the truth is, they are not lacking in social media at all. In fact, their platforms are, in many ways, more advanced than Facebook, Instagram, and the rest. Instead of Facebook or WhatsApp, they use WeChat. This is a super app that can replace nearly every application you currently have on your phone. From messaging, calling, social networking, and e-wallets to medical inquiries, booking doctor appointments, paying taxes, and hailing rides, WeChat does it all. It's so essential in everyday life that people in China often joke, losing your wallet is fine, but losing WeChat is like losing your whole life. Google is replaced by Baidu, which integrates AI, big data, and detailed local maps. Twitter is replaced by Weibo, and Instagram by Xiaohongshu. Even TikTok, the global phenomenon, is actually the international version of Douyin, a platform originally developed in China. Number 2. Code language. How Chinese netizens bypass censorship. However, China's control system doesn't just restrict information from the outside world, it also monitors and censors content within the country. Sensitive topics are often deleted, keywords are banned, posts are blocked, and accounts can be shut down without any warning. But instead of staying silent, young people in China have developed an entire second language for communicating on social media. Instead of directly naming certain leaders, they use nicknames. For example, Xi Jinping is often referred to as Xi or Snoopy names that sound innocent and are harder for automated systems to detect. Posts that criticize government policies are written using mathematical symbols, classical poetry, or metaphors. To outsiders, these might seem like jokes, but locals understand them instantly. At one point, even the cartoon cat Garfield was used to refer to a powerful official simply because of his pensive expression and large belly. Nowhere else in the world will you find an online community where people have to think like hackers just to communicate in everyday conversation. But it's exactly this restriction that has sparked an astonishing level of creativity among young people, turning Chinese social media into a space that may seem dull and lifeless from the outside, but to those within it, is vibrant and full of hidden energy. Number 3. The rise of modern Chinese women. But what's even more surprising is this: in a society often seen as controlling every voice, Chinese women are gradually becoming the loudest voices of all. They are no longer the traditional, gentle figures many people imagine, but instead are shaping tastes, leading trends, and dominating the country's digital economy. On domestic platforms like Weibo, Xiaohongshu, and Douyin, women account for the overwhelming majority both in user numbers and influence. They are hot moms, beauty bloggers, brand founders, the ones who set the trends, define beauty standards, and inspire lifestyle choices for millions of followers. In the business world, their impact is just as powerful. According to the Hurun report in 2023, nearly 2/3 of all self-made female billionaires in the world come from China, a figure that surpasses even the combined total of the United States and Europe. Names like Zhou Kunfei of Lens Technology, Wu Yajun from Longfor Properties, and female tech executives leading top AI startups are proof of a generation of women who are not only exceptional at running companies, but also highly savvy in the world of investment. But if you think Chinese society is moving steadily toward gender equality, wait until you hear this. Some people actually have to rent an entire family just to be seen as normal in the eyes of others. Number 4. Renting lovers and parents. A real business in China. What sounds like something out of a movie is actually happening in real life. In major cities like Beijing and Shanghai, a strange service industry has quietly emerged, renting a boyfriend, a girlfriend, even a parent or a sibling by the hour. During holidays like Lunar New Year, when the pressure to come home with someone or answer the dreaded "when will you get married" question becomes overwhelming, many single people are choosing to rent rather than face the stress. They turn to platforms that provide pretend partners to join them for family gatherings, year-end dinners, and photo sessions like a rehearsal for happiness. The rental fees aren't cheap, around 40 to 70 USD for an evening, and up to 300 to 500 USD for a full 2-3 day package. Prices vary depending on friendliness, acting skills, and even how attractive the person is. Some picky clients even hold a casting session in advance to make sure their rented partner won't ruin the illusion of being the perfect significant other. And it's not just about saving face in front of family. Some people rent others simply because they're genuinely lonely. Young adults have paid to share a hot pot meal with a fake mom, to be scolded for staying up too late, or just to hear someone ask, "Are you tired?" after a long day at work. These seemingly small things can sometimes be the only moments that make them feel truly cared for. Number 5. Falling in love with AI in China. But as renting real people became increasingly troublesome due to high costs, fear of being exposed, or simply the emotional exhaustion of pretending to care, young people in China began turning to an even more surprising option: falling in love with someone who doesn't exist. Chinese developers have created mobile apps that allow users to interact with virtual partners who talk and behave like real lovers. These AI companions can text you sweet messages, call you by pet names, and even act upset if you go too long without checking in. Some apps, like Yumi or Replica, were even removed from the Chinese market at one point for being too human-like, raising concerns that users were becoming emotionally dependent. But not long after, domestic versions reappeared with more attractive interfaces, faster responses, and most importantly, an even stronger ability to make users feel loved. Loving a real person can be exhausting and complicated. Loving an AI partner is gentler, more predictable. A local survey revealed that over 25% of Chinese youth under the age of 30 have never been in a real-life romantic relationship, yet many regularly take care of their virtual girlfriends, texting, chatting, and treating them as part of their daily lives. Some have even gone as far as holding weddings with their favorite animated characters, complete with wedding dresses, rings, and photo shoots to mark the occasion. Number 6. Chinese cuisine that shocks foreign visitors. If you think renting family members is the strangest thing you've heard about China, then wait until you find out what they eat. It might shock you even more. Chinese cuisine is world famous for its sophistication, intricate techniques, and the philosophy that food is culture. But beyond dim sum and Peking duck, China is also home to a list of dishes that can leave first-time diners frozen in disbelief for a few seconds just to process what's in front of them. Take, for example, virgin boy egg, a real delicacy in Zhejiang province. These are eggs boiled for hours in the urine of prepubescent boys, believed to activate yin energy, nourish the kidneys, and boost vitality. The smell is pungent, and the price? Nearly double that of regular eggs. Then there's stinky tofu, a fermented snack so intense that its odor can hit you from meters away. Many turn away at the smell, but locals proudly consider it a national street treasure. The stinkier it is, the tastier it gets. Or, how about animal penis soup, a traditional dish in Chinese medicine made from the genitals of deer, goat, ox, and even wild boar, all believed to restore energy and improve blood circulation. These are served in specialty restaurants as a kind of natural tonic. And we're not done. There's snake wine liquor infused with whole live snakes, sometimes several at once, meant to strengthen the joints and detoxify the body. In some regions, there were once legends of people consuming fresh monkey brains, served while the animal was still alive. Though now banned and highly controversial, this story continues to send chills down the spines of foreign listeners. To most Chinese people, these dishes aren't all that bizarre. Many have been passed down for generations and are deeply tied to traditional medicine. Some are served during rituals or special occasions and carry symbolic meaning more than everyday use. But to visitors, the experience can be both horrifying and unforgettable for a lifetime. Number 7. QR payments and a smile. The cashless life in China. Just as you reach into your pocket to pull out your wallet after a meal, the vendor smiles and points to a small sign in front of you. Scan the QR code here. In China, this is as common as rice at dinner. Here, cash is no longer king, it's more like a relic of the past. From bustling cities to remote villages, QR codes are woven into every corner of daily life. You can scan to pay for subway rides, steamed buns, or even a cup of milk tea from a roadside stall. It's not just restaurants, supermarkets, or cafes that accept digital payments, street vendors, farmers at the local market, even beggars have their own QR codes to receive money. For locals, this is an incredibly convenient leap forward in everyday life. But for foreign visitors, things aren't always so simple. Many stores no longer accept cash, and credit cards like Visa or MasterCard are often not supported. Meanwhile, local payment apps such as Alipay or WeChat Pay typically require a Chinese bank account to unlock full functionality. As a result, traveling in this ultra-modern system can sometimes feel unexpectedly challenging. But don't worry too much. In major tourist areas, cash is still widely accepted. Many shops, restaurants, and attractions are well accustomed to serving international guests, so paying with banknotes is rarely an issue. Local people are also extremely friendly and willing to help if you run into trouble. Sometimes, all it takes is holding up your cash and flashing a smile, and just like that, the transaction goes through smoothly. Number 8. Virgin tea, China's most sacred brew. China's world of payments may be so modern that you don't even need a wallet, but its world of tea still preserves ancient, almost mythical traditions that seem pulled straight from legend. In Chinese culture, tea is far more than just a beverage. It's a symbol of purity, power, and social hierarchy. And nothing reflects that more than a rare type of tea once known as virgin tea, considered a royal delicacy. According to traditional rituals, only virgins were allowed to harvest this tea, and not with their hands, but with their mouths. Using their lips, they would gently pluck each tender tea bud and drop it into a golden tray, making sure their hands never touched the leaves in order to preserve the tea's heavenly essence. Those who have tasted it describe its flavor as infused with the picker's saliva, sweat, and body warmth, creating a uniquely fresh and delicate taste. While this ritual has mostly faded today, it once represented the highest standard of Chinese tea artistry. In some places, the rules go even further. Tea must be picked before dawn, while dew still clings to the leaves and nature's energy is believed to be at its purest. Harvesters walk barefoot, wear white clothing, and remain completely silent during the picking process as if performing a sacred rite. All of this just to produce a tea that can sell for thousands of dollars per pack. There are also fermented teas like ancient pu'er, aged for decades in stone caves or sealed rooms. The longer it's stored, the more valuable it becomes. Some are sold for over $10,000 for a tea cake no bigger than your palm. Number 9. Facial recognition for toilet paper. If you're traveling in China and rush into a public restroom, don't be surprised if you experience a moment of mild panic when you realize there's no toilet paper roll waiting for you inside. In many places, toilet paper isn't provided for free, as it often is in the West, and if it is available, you usually have to collect it beforehand from a shared dispenser outside the stalls. This practice stems from a long-standing culture of cost-saving and concerns over people accidentally taking paper home, so the supply is tightly controlled. But manual management isn't enough anymore. In major cities like Beijing, things have leveled up to facial recognition toilet paper dispensers. As you stand in front of the machine, a camera scans your face and dispenses exactly 40 centimeters of toilet paper, just enough for a single use. If you want more, you'll need to wait about 9 minutes before you're allowed to scan again. While this system is designed to curb overuse, for many foreign visitors, the feeling of being watched by a machine during such a private moment can make the experience unexpectedly stressful. Even more surprising, in certain areas piloting what's called rural civilization projects, public toilets are being built without doors, without locks, and sometimes even without traditional sinks. Everything is operated by sensors, and cleaning is done automatically after each use. For locals, these facilities represent cleanliness and efficiency, but for many foreign travelers, stepping into a stall that's wide open from front to back can be a genuine culture shock. No 10. Wearing pajamas in public. A Chinese street style. As you stroll through the streets of China, you might be surprised to see something quite unexpected: people walking around in their pajamas. Not just lounging at home, but actually out in public, shopping, chatting in parks, even dining at restaurants. Those floral cotton pajama sets you'd typically associate with bedtime appear in broad daylight, at supermarkets, metro stations, and busy city squares. For many Western visitors, the first reaction is disbelief, as if someone had sleepwalked straight into the street. This quirky trend has actually stirred quite a bit of debate. In some cities, local authorities once considered it an eyesore that harmed the image of a modern metropolis. In fact, back in 2010, Shanghai even dispatched officials to discreetly photograph pajama wearers in public as a gentle form of public shaming. But to their surprise, many residents pushed back. They argued that it was a matter of personal freedom, and that wearing pajamas outside was a uniquely relaxed cultural trait of the city's working-class communities. Whether you find it amusing or puzzling, for many Chinese people, pajamas are comfortable, affordable, and eliminate the need to choose an outfit each morning, which, for them, is more than enough reason to wear them out and about without worrying about how others might look at them. Have you ever worn pajamas to buy bubble tea? If you spend some time in China, chances are, you just might want to give it a try. Number 11. Fasakinis in full. Cover swimwear. China's unique beach fashion. Wearing pajamas in public might seem unusual, but it's nothing compared to what you'll see on Chinese beaches. There, you'll easily spot the so-called beach ninjas, people completely covered from head to toe in a special outfit known as the fasakini. Unlike Western-style bikinis that highlight the body and celebrate curves, the fasakini covers the entire face, leaving only the eyes, nose, and mouth exposed. Some beachgoers take it even further by wearing long-sleeve shirts, full-length pants, gloves, and socks to shield themselves from the sun. From afar, many foreign visitors can't help but do a double take. Some even compare the look to a horror movie character or a stranded mermaid. But the fasakini isn't just a fashion statement or a joke. It reflects a deeply rooted cultural obsession in China, the fear of sunlight and tanned skin. In the West, a tan is often associated with health, beauty, and an active lifestyle. In China, pale skin has long been the ideal, a symbol of beauty, refinement, and higher social status. Getting sunburned isn't just seen as unattractive. It can be perceived as a sign of doing outdoor manual labor. That's why for many, exposing bare skin at the beach is simply not an option. Despite being mocked by international media and sparking debate on social networks, the fasakini continues to be a hot seller in coastal cities like Qingdao. Some people even commission custom-designed versions with floral prints, polka dots, or lucky cat motifs to add a fashionable flair to this most unconventional form of beachwear. Number 12. Smart sidewalks that detect when you stand still. In certain central districts of Beijing and Shanghai, tourists might be surprised to find themselves politely asked to move along even if they're just standing briefly on the sidewalk. The reason? Many of these streets are equipped with underground sensors embedded in the pavement, designed to detect how long a pedestrian stays in one spot. If you remain stationary for too long, typically between 3 to 5 minutes, the system alerts a central monitoring hub. The goal is to prevent crowds from gathering, ensure smooth traffic flow, and deter unauthorized demonstrations. In some areas, there are even AI-powered cameras that analyze behavior patterns. If you're standing still and glancing around, the system might flag you as suspicious. While the idea of being constantly monitored can feel unsettling to many visitors, a number of local residents actually say it gives them peace of mind knowing that the streets are being closely watched and kept safe at all times. Number 13. The world's most maze-like city. There's a city in China where you can walk from the first floor of one building straight into the 6th floor of the building next door without ever climbing a single stair. It sounds bizarre, but in Chongqing, it's completely normal. Chongqing is a city built entirely on hills and mountains. The ground is anything but flat, so buildings are constructed to lean against the terrain. As a result, the same building can have different floors depending on which side you enter. The front door might be on the 1st floor, while the back entrance connects to the 5th or even the 10th. There's no such thing as a fixed ground floor. Here, subway trains pass through the middle of apartment complexes, overpasses lead directly into the upper floors of buildings, and pedestrian walkways hover in midair. Sometimes, you feel like you're walking downhill, when in fact you're actually heading up to a higher floor. Even Google Maps has struggled in Chongqing, often unable to determine what floor a person is really on because the same address might exist at completely different elevations. For the locals, this three-dimensional urban maze is just part of everyday life. But for visitors, it feels like stepping into a vertical city where every step could land you on a whole new level. No 14. Most Chinese people don't speak English. In China, you can find yourself right in the heart of a major city and still feel completely lost, simply because you won't see a single word of English. Even in megacities like Beijing, Shanghai, or Guangzhou, which welcome millions of tourists each year, most signs, storefronts, public instructions, and restaurant menus are written only in Chinese. In some places, they even use traditional characters, which can be confusing even for Chinese people from other regions. In certain subway stations, you might not even find station names written in the Latin alphabet, leaving foreign travelers to rely on colored lines or count stops. But this language barrier goes far beyond signage. It also shows up in everyday conversation. Fewer than 1% of the Chinese population is fluent in English, and those who can hold even basic conversations are few and far between, especially in rural areas or second- and third-tier cities. Even in the tourism industry, you might check into a 4-star hotel only to find that the front desk staff can't speak a single word of English. Some foreigners jokingly call this the Great Language Wall, the world's largest linguistic barrier, where not speaking Chinese can leave you feeling totally isolated. But despite the gap in language, many Chinese people are incredibly warm and willing to help, even if they don't understand a word you're saying. It's not uncommon to see a local stop what they're doing to assist you, whether it's giving directions, helping you hail a taxi, or ordering food for you through their app. And more than once, you'll witness someone, maybe a shop clerk or a taxi driver, quickly pulling out their phone, typing in Chinese on a translation app, and holding the screen up to you with a smile, hoping to bridge the gap, one word at a time. No 15. Copy and paste architecture across China. China is one of the world's oldest civilizations, and its architecture reflects a legacy that truly transcends time. From the Forbidden City, the largest ancient wooden palace in the world, to the Great Wall, stretching over 21,000 kilometers, and the cliffside Potala Palace in Tibet, these monumental structures stand as breathtaking testaments to Chinese ingenuity, craftsmanship, and imperial might that once left the world in awe. But in recent decades, something rather unexpected has begun to appear across this historic landscape: entire neighborhoods that look as if they don't belong in China at all. In Shanghai, for example, you might stumble upon a French-style square with a replica Eiffel Tower rising over 100 meters, surrounded by rows of Haussmann-style buildings. In Hangzhou, there's a mini Venice, complete with canals, gondolas, and Italian-style balconies. And in Tianjin, you'll find Little London, featuring red phone booths, a clock tower, and a statue of Shakespeare gazing thoughtfully across the square. These themed developments began springing up in the early 2000s during a rapid wave of urbanization and real estate growth in China. Unlike what many might assume, these architectural replicas weren't built to attract foreign tourists. They were designed for Chinese residents, particularly middle-class citizens, who might never have the chance to travel abroad due to the high cost. For them, these Western-style neighborhoods offered a taste of the world beyond China's borders without ever needing a passport. This trend has sparked debate, especially among international scholars and urban planners. Some see it as kitsch, others as cultural borrowing gone too far. But from an urban planning and sociological perspective, these spaces reflect deeper themes: globalization, aspiration, and the way modern cities and developing countries are reshaping their identities in an increasingly interconnected world. Number 16. Living like the ancients. No phones, no internet. While the Chinese government is pouring money into building miniature versions of Europe to let citizens experience a taste of luxurious Western living, a growing number of young people are doing the exact opposite, paying to live like it's ancient times. In provinces like Anhui, Zhejiang, and several mountainous regions in southern China, time travel villages have become a surprising trend, attracting thousands of curious youth. In these villages, modern technology is strictly off-limits. No phones, no internet, no smartwatches, not even electricity in some cases. Participants must wear traditional clothing from ancient dynasties, learn how to properly tie ceremonial headwear, bow according to palace etiquette, cook using firewood, and write letters with calligraphy brushes. Everything, down to the sleeping schedule, is based on the lunar calendar designed to replicate the life of people centuries ago. Some villages go even further, simulating entire social systems of the past. Participants are assigned strict roles. Some become farmers, others play officials or commoners, and a hierarchy is enforced. You can't choose your status, you have to adapt and accept your place within a tightly structured, self-contained world. Strangely enough, these offline villages aren't struggling for visitors. In fact, they're thriving. For many young Chinese, this is a form of digital detox, a chance to escape the endless noise of the online world and step into something more grounded, even if it means living by candlelight and ancient customs. People line up to register, willingly paying between 50 to 100 USD a day just to slow down and live like they've stepped straight into a historical drama. Number 17. From the cradle of great inventions to a modern copycat haven. China was once the cradle of inventions that changed the course of human history. Paper, gunpowder, the compass, and printing, collectively known as the Four Great Inventions, were not just marvels of ancient creativity, but revolutionary breakthroughs that shaped the global evolution of knowledge, warfare, navigation, and communication. Yet here lies a fascinating paradox. While their ancestors created what had never existed before, modern-day China is often known for replicating what already does. Cities like Shenzhen and Yiwu have long earned the reputation of being the world's knockoff capitals. Here, you can find a $10 iPhone, a $20 Chanel bag, or a Gucci so flawlessly duplicated that even experts might hesitate to call it fake. But producing a replica so precise that it blurs the line between real and counterfeit takes serious skill. It's a testament to the technical expertise and craftsmanship of Chinese manufacturers. The only difference is, instead of innovating, some have chosen a quicker, more profitable route: imitation. That said, things are rapidly changing. China is now leading the world in areas like artificial intelligence, facial recognition, solar energy, electric vehicles, and large-scale 3D construction. Technologies once dismissed as copies are now being reverse-engineered by the West. Companies like Huawei, BYD, and DJI are no longer just catching up, they're helping shape the direction of the global tech landscape. In short, from inventors of the past to innovators of the future, China's story is not just about what it has created, but about how it continues to reinvent its place in the world. Number 18. Deliveries to the afterlife. Burning paper offerings. The Chinese aren't just known for shaping life in this world, they've also put a remarkable amount of creativity into preparing for the next one. If you happen to walk through a Chinese neighborhood during Qingming Festival, around early April or Ghost Month, typically in August, don't be alarmed if you see people burning iPhones US, dollars, or designer clothes right in the middle of the street. These aren't real items, they're Joss paper offerings, symbolic replicas made of paper, meant to be sent to deceased loved ones in the afterlife. This tradition has existed for thousands of years, but in today's fast-moving world, it's been upgraded to match modern lifestyles. People no longer burn just paper money or simple garments. Now you'll find models of smartphones, plane tickets, passports, luxury homes, sports cars, credit cards, and even paper maids, all crafted with intricate detail, based on the belief that the departed deserve to live just as comfortably on the other side. In some areas, these afterlife deliveries are turned into full-scale productions. Entire paper mansions are set ablaze, with lines of paper supercars parked in front and carefully packaged heavenly luxury sets that rival real designer goods. But sometimes, devotion crosses into the extreme. In certain regions, people have held bizarre rituals, like hiring a fake corpse for a symbolic resurrection ceremony. A performer lies in a coffin, surrounded by mourners, funeral music, and tearful actors. After a few hours, the dead suddenly rises, symbolizing rebirth, bad luck being lifted, or a prayer being answered by divine forces. These practices often leave foreign visitors speechless and have drawn concern from Chinese authorities as well. In recent years, local governments have moved to crack down on what they deem superstitious or overly sensational, in an effort to balance tradition with modern values. Still, for many, these customs remain a powerful expression of love, remembrance, and the deeply rooted belief that even in the afterlife, no one should go without. Number 19. A festival that lasts an entire month. China is one of those rare countries where festivals are spread out generously across the entire year, but none is more important or grand than Lunar New Year, the biggest celebration on the Chinese calendar. Usually falling in late January or February, this holiday is so massive that many people jokingly say it lasts an entire month. Preparations begin well in advance. About a week before the actual New Year, families start cleaning their homes from top to bottom, decorating every corner with red banners, paper cuttings, and symbols of good fortune. Markets overflow with food, fruit, candy, and traditional pastries as everyone gets ready for the great reunion. On New Year's Eve, families gather for a huge dinner, light firecrackers, and stay up late to welcome the arrival of a fresh new year. What follows is a whirlwind of visits and traditions. Adults go from house to house to exchange New Year greetings, while children eagerly receive red envelopes filled with lucky money. Feasts are endless, fireworks light up the sky for days, and in many regions, lion dances, spring fairs, parades, and lantern festivals continue well into mid or even late February. All in all, if you count the days before and after the New Year, the festival season can stretch across 4 weeks. Not just a holiday, but a full cultural marathon packed with food, rituals, and social obligations. It's a joyful time, but for many young people, it can also be exhausting. From long journeys home to catching up with dozens of relatives and attending back-to-back banquets, the celebrations can be as tiring as they are festive. That's why more and more modern Chinese are choosing to escape the holiday. Some travel abroad while others opt for a quiet, minimalist celebration, staying home, making a few phone calls, and actually resting during the break. Still, no matter how it's spent, Lunar New Year remains a time of overwhelming joy, deep tradition, and an energy that defines the spirit of Chinese life. A season so vibrant, it leaves you breathless. Number 20. Drone deliveries are now a reality in China. China is one of the first countries in the world to roll out drone delivery services on a large scale. In cities like Shenzhen and Guangzhou, residents can receive packages right on their balconies or windowsills, dropped off by unmanned aerial vehicles. Many high-rise buildings are now designed with built-in delivery slots or automatic lockers. All it takes is a quick scan, and the drone drops your parcel into the right spot. Some restaurants have even adopted drones to deliver food, flying straight through city skyscrapers during peak hours. But this futuristic system doesn't always run smoothly. At times, hundreds of drones in the air at once have led to what could only be described as air traffic jams. There have been mishaps, drones delivering to the wrong floor, landing on strangers' balconies, or even going off course due to weather disruptions. Privacy concerns have also emerged, as these camera-equipped drones often fly close to windows, unintentionally capturing footage of people's private lives. Still, most urban residents embrace the convenience. The government has stepped in to set up fixed flight paths, height restrictions, and zoning rules to reduce risks. For busy office workers in China's fast-paced cities, drone delivery has already become a familiar part of daily life, another high-tech solution keeping up with the rhythm of a society always on the move. No 21. Even 30 sim lanes can't stop China's traffic jams. China once witnessed a traffic jam so massive, it lasted an unbelievable asterisk 21 days. The incident occurred in 2010 on the Beijing-Tibet Expressway, where thousands of trucks, cars, and buses were stuck on a stretch of road less than 100 kilometers long. The traffic came to a standstill for days, effectively turning the highway into a giant campsite. Drivers cooked meals right on the road, played cards to pass the time, and some even started selling snacks and supplies, turning the crisis into a business opportunity. One trucker famously said, "I was stuck here for 12 days and only moved 1 kilometer." As surreal as it sounds, epic traffic jams like this aren't all that rare in China, especially during major holidays, when tens of millions of people hit the roads to return to their hometowns. At one point, even the 35-lane Beijing-Shanghai Expressway became completely clogged for an entire day, earning the nickname of a national-scale traffic jam. But leave it to China to turn a problem into a peculiar innovation. From these chaotic scenes emerged a service that stunned the world: traffic jam stand-ins. If you're stuck and need to leave, all you have to do is make a call. Someone on a motorbike will come pick you up, and another driver will take your place in your car to sit through the traffic on your behalf. Only in China could waiting in traffic become a service industry, and yet it's a perfect example of how the country keeps reinventing even its most frustrating moments. If you found today's video interesting, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe so you won't miss out on our next bizarre adventures. Let us know in the comments, which country would you like us to explore next? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. The information is for reference only, so please do your own research before making any decisions.